Hi guys, Dr. Pharmacist Garden here, and today we're gonna be doing our March garden tour. So it's a mess in the garden right now. There's pipes and all that stuff everywhere. There's plants everywhere because I'm still moving everything in. But because the month is going by, we have like 2 days left before the month's end. We need to capture March. We need to figure out what's going on in March. So let's get to it and let's see what's growing. Let's go. All right. So on this part of the garden, I have my green stock tower as well as another green stock tower. This one is pretty empty because I haven't really added anything to it just yet, but in a matter of a month, we will be. Along the fence line, you're gonna see my beautiful, beautiful grapefruit. They are getting bigger and bigger by the day. You see all of that amazing goodness. And then over here, we have my green stock. This is on wheels, so I get to turn it around. Well, not on wheels, on a spinner. I get to turn it around to see what's growing. A lot of this part is still empty, but slowly but surely, I'm adding things into it and I'm labeling it as I go. That way I know what is where. These over here are my fence line plant. Here we have the beautiful blueberry, and that's, blueberry needs a partner. So we have the partner right there. And then I have a random tomato that just randomly grew in one of my raised containers. So I put it right here with the name unknown. And I just got these two blackberry plants. I need to figure out where to put them. And after that, we will see what goes on from there. Over here is what I call the Dr. Pharmacist Garden Clinic. It's where any plant that needs to be propagated, that needs to survive, that needs to come back to life, will be hanging out until I have time to, fix it, or if it survive. If not, then it's okay. So that's what this section is for. Going on this way, this row is pretty still empty right now. This is my raspberry bush. It's supposed to go on a trellis. I will be staking this trellis eventually for it to climb on. And then I have my mint bag right here. It's pretty much, it goes unbothered. Nothing disturbs it. It just grows on its own. And on this side is where I'm going to be putting some tomatoes. So I have those out chilling. So I will be installing that out later today. On this section of the garden, I have my mint here, the chocolate mint to be precise. And then it's right there on the bottom. I'm actually trying to propagate it, so I have some in a little container. And then I have some tomatoes that I just added here. This is the celebrity hybrid tomato. So I have it all labeled there, and I added some flowers for pollination. And then on this side, we have my ugu. I added this, I think, a couple of days ago, and you can see all the new growth already. And I see that it's already starting to trellis on the cattle panel. So that is a good sign. I do see some new growth on here as well, and it's on the floor. So I'm going to have to lift that up a little bit. And this is a snapdragon that is coming back to life. So I can't wait for it to flower and flourish. Let me show you all. So that's the snapdragon right there. I'm just waiting for it to bloom, but you can see the little buds starting to form on the top of it. And then on this roll of the garden, I have my big red tomato. So my plan is to find more of these sticks to put the names of my plant on. That way it's easy for me to see when I'm giving my tour like this. It's easy for me to just tell you all what it is. But yeah, these are the big red tomatoes. Different kind of tomatoes is gonna go over here and on that side. But for now, they're still empty because we're gonna be filling them up before the end of the month. Or by next month, sometime in April. Welcome back. This is another tomato raised bed. And right here we have the Better Boy hybrid tomatoes that is here. We added some marigolds, some celosia kind of flower. And then I have the gladiolis just surprising me this year, popping out from nowhere over here as well. And then on this side, right here, I have a whole bunch of peppers. So California Wonder, Purple Beauty, Tabasco, habanero. So it's a whole wide range of peppers in there. I will be making use of all of this little space. I'm adding basil, some kind of companion planting over here. So they're definitely not going to go to waste. And right here, I have one of my strawberry tower. There's actually like, I think, one strawberry going in here. You can't really see it because it's like stuck in there. I needed to add more soil to this. But so far, I think yesterday I harvested three strawberries from this. So yay me. So right here is actually one of the raised bed I can consider to be complete. in a sense that I have added the two habanero plants that I wanted to add for tomatoes that are growing here. You can see some carrots in the front. We're making use of our dead space. We have some sunflower growing, marigold over there, and we have some onions along the border. What else do I need? And I started to see some kind of flowering over here. So we're growing. This is probably my most ready to be harvested raised bed. This was from last year, so they're thin kind of a little bit up right now, but they should be coming back to life. I already see some new leaves growing. So right here is one of my most popular raised bed, the biggest one I've ever had up until last year at least. So I have 8 tomato plants growing on top of the kettle panel, and then I have one, two, three, four habanero in the front. We have marigold here, marigold here, a serrano pepper, another marigold here, and then along the little space that is available, we're going to be adding some basil into it for companion planting, which I'll be doing sometime this week as well. This little raised bed here is my pollination raised bed. I have one tomato growing in there, but it's going to be full of zinnias, sunflowers, just things to invite pollinators to the garden. It's right smack in the middle of the garden, so that way they have a reason to come up in here to enjoy. So we are now officially on the back side of my garden. On this raised bed here, I have jute leaves growing, and I also see some volunteer amaranth. So yay, I'm gonna leave those there. Right here, I have another tomato plant growing, and I also have my meadow sage, which is a shrub, and that's also to bring pollinators into the garden. So here is another one of my tomato raised bed. On this one, we have the Nigerian tomatoes. They tend to grow pretty tall. So I have the carapana on here as well as some sticks if needed. But for now, it's all good. And then over here, I have a whole bunch of peppers in the front, but then I have some tomatoes here. This raised bed is dedicated to my beefed off beef steak tomato, and those get really big. So I'm excited. I cannot wait to see what the results might be like. I still need to come back and add some basil into here as well as mulch it. That way it's retaining more fluid. But right now, everything transplants very well, and they're looking amazingly great. So we have another big old 4x8 raised bed, and this is full of peppers. So what I'm doing, I have the peppers planted a little bit closer to each other than I normally would because I want them to get bushy. I want it to look like a typical farm where all the peppers are like right by each other, and they are kind of like giving each other structure. So on this big old potato panel though, I do have tomatoes there. One, two, three, about 8 tomatoes, four in the back side and four on the front side, and those are supposed to grow up here while the peppers in the front kind of bounce off each other. I do have it already mulched, so it operates in fluid, and then there's some pollinators in there, marigold, some celosa, and then what I'm going to be adding is going to be some more basil just to help with the pollination, to help with pest control as well. This peppers and tomatoes, the other pests do not like the smell of basil or marigold, so that can help prevent a lot of the pests. If you see all those empty big old space, it's because I plan on putting some kind of pest control herbs or something in there to kind of help balance the raised bed out. So, welcome to my cayenne pepper raised bed. As you guys know, earlier this year, I launched my own cayenne pepper seasoning. So this is a raised bed dedicated to that. All of these peppers right here up in the front are all cayenne pepper. If you look closely, you can even see one right here already growing. And when I got some of the seedlings from HEB, I took up whatever flowers that was there about a month ago, and now I'm letting whatever flowers that's in here now stay because the plant is taller and it's a little bit bushier. They are loving the weather. It's growing so beautifully. Everything looks good. So I am not complaining at all. This back side, my goal is to add more cayenne pepper into it, but I don't have any yet. So what I did, I had some peppers that I was given from like seed meal from TikTok. So I have those here planted along the back side, and hopefully once I get more cayenne peppers, I'm gonna put them in my green stock or on this little space right here. But for now, we have about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 cayenne pepper plants. So I think that's a lot, right? Especially from what I harvested on one plant last year, that is amazing. In this same cayenne pepper bed, I have my thyme for pollination. I'm actually going to let all of this get bushy before I harvest any of it. I want it to be big and flourishing. So I'm going to let them just get big, and I'm not going to harvest it just yet. So over here is where I have some of my herbs as well as my African veggies. So my efo shoko, which is the amaranth, is over here. I'm sorry, efo shoko is Lagos spinach is over here and over here. This two is bed. And then we have some Let's see what it. Oh, Efogure, which is gonna be over here. The frost did kill some of them, but somehow it's coming back. So no complaints here. And then I have some little ones that I started indoors here as well. But the amaranth is starting to peel off. I do know that some amaranth sometimes they get like pests. So I have spring onions planted randomly in between there and some parsley. That way it gives me some sense of pest control. So we're trying to do balance here. We're trying to do as little chemical as possible. So I have all these little things placed strategically in places so that the plant itself are protecting itself from each other. Here is the last of my 4x8 raised bed, and this is also full with a bunch of random peppers, especially like different variety of peppers that I don't typically carry or use in my garden. So I also have this here because I will be adding some tomatoes here, about 8 of them on the back row, and then the rest of it will be filled with pepper. We're trying to like do companion planting and all the stuff. So that's what is going to be going on this raised bed. I already have some marigolds in there as well because I want the bees, I want the butterflies, I want them to start coming. Just come, enjoy, and let my garden thrive. So, guys, this here has been growing for over 7, 8 months now. I have my garlic here and some onions that I started from seed here. And then I have some herbs planted in right in between them. There's oregano here and there's some thyme here. And then this one is technically just onions along the border because I'm gonna be growing some amaranth right here in the middle because amaranths tend to always have pest issues in my garden. So in order to prevent that, I'm planning ahead and by having onions, spring onions and onions right around here. That way, pest control, organically. Right here as well, I have more onions that I started from bulbs along the borderline. And this is where my jute leaves is going to be growing. I already have the seeds there. I'm waiting for it to just germinate as the heat goes, the weather warms up. I'm expecting more of them to pop up. So over here, we have my more of my green stock. I do have them on the spinner as well because it just helps me rotate them better for sunlight if needed. I have some strawberries growing in here. I just harvested some yesterday, so I don't think there's any to harvest again. And then look at this one. It's ready for me to put it into soil. So I will be adding one of the, I think Greenstock is launching something soon that you can put on here and then you can put this into it for when something like this happens. So I'm going to be doing that as soon as they launch it. I will be putting an order in for that. But except from that, we have rosemary, jalapeno, peppers, and then so jalapeno, serrano, all those little pepper that doesn't get as bushy can actually go in your green stock. So that's what I did to kind of help maximize space in my garden. There's another jalapeno back there. And then I add some amaranth in here. I'm trying to try it out to see how it goes. But overall, look at it. The Lego, I'm sorry, Lego spinach on here. I might add some amaranth here and there as well. But so far, it's so good. I have no complaints. No complaints at all. I do need to add the top and the lid for this one. But once I order those as well, I will be doing that. Oh, there's another one here. I like it. So we are officially at the end of my garden tour. I will see you guys next month in April. Bye.